A couple of weeks ago, I made a short trip to New Jersey and New York, two states I grew up in. First thing I did was had my favorite meal with my mom, sulangtang. We then passed by familiar places I went to when I was younger, like this Boston market that's totally open. Then I sorted through old games and consoles I still had and found gems like Star Wars Episode 3 for the DS, Star Wars Episode 3 for PS2, and the Star Wars Episode 3 soundtrack. But the real treasure was the Pokemon Coliseum bonus disc. I'm definitely planning on shiny hunting for Jirachi. We drove through my old town, Palisades Park, and saw a bunch of new stores and cafes. Then I got a new haircut. We visited the house I grew up in, saw my empty bedroom, saw the spot where my old cat Yugi died, and got buried. Then checked the garage for a bunch of stuff I had to go through. Found old sketchbooks from when I studied to be an illustrator, found old games and comics, an old letter from a friend whose words are exactly what I needed right now, a Marvel book signed by Stan Lee, but not for me. Then we got jjajangmyeon at a new place since my favorite restaurant closed down. Later that night, I started watching Love Live Superstar with Sungwon. Contrary to anime tropes, the white-haired character is the boring one. Next day, I took a ferry to New York. It was nice walking around in the city again, but I was really baffled by the gentrified scaffolding. I visited my old workplace, the Flatiron Lego store, but didn't recognize anybody. Then I swung by Union Square and the fancy clock is now actually a doomsday clock? Then I went to a retro game store, Video Games New York, and got some stuff. There I caught up with my old college pal Dylan, and then we walked around the city. Dylan is a former writer at Esports, and now currently a League of Legends coach for Seton Hall. Check out his work. This is the spot where I was the most drunk I've ever been and angrily gave lost people directions while puking on the ground. This spot used to have the Amazing Spider-Man symbol when they promoted the movie. I stood here a lot. I stopped by the milk bar and got cereal milk ice cream, one of my favorites. Then found an artichoke pizza and got a slice. Later, I paid dearly for this combo. This is the spot where Andrew Garfield meets up with Emma Stone after they break up in Amazing Spider-Man 2. This is the subway. This is a building that probably belongs to Organization 13. Stop by Rockefeller Center and visit a Nintendo World. While I miss it as the Pokemon Center, it's still cool seeing a dedicated store with neat decorations. Then, I found a new Lego store on 5th Ave, and it was amazing. I was absolutely in awe of how cool the store was, and painfully thought about how it had to be mopped every night. I ran to one of my old coworkers from the Flatiron store, Mike Jazz, and it really made my day. He was very good to me back in my retail days, and seeing him here means this store is in good hands. Then Dylan and I stopped by Bryant Park, where he surprised me with Bounty Light keychain charms from the first Kickstarter. Speaking of, the Bounty Light 2 Kickstarter pre-launch page is up now. Check it out and make sure to be notified so you know when we go live, which will be very soon. We're gonna have more cool rewards, so stay tuned. I caught up with my friend Sung at an izakaya where we had a bunch of good eats. Sung's an awesome tattoo artist with a great portfolio of both anime-inspired and original works. If you're in the city, hit them up to get a piece done. Later, I had the legendary $2 popcorn at the 39th Street Ferry Terminal and headed back to Jersey for the night. I don't know why, but this popcorn is delicious. Got diner breakfast with my mom and sister the next morning, then head up the city again. This is the spot where I got hit by a cab going 40. Went to a cafe near West 4th Street and caught up with my friend Mary. We mostly talked about One Piece. Mary is a hilarious freelance comic artist with a lot of great One Piece fan art. Check out Mary's stuff if you're a fan of cute chips. Afterwards, I went to Washington Square Park where I met up with my friend Charlie. Charlie acted in several of my short films during college, and we've kept in touch ever since. It was nice talking about what we've been up to work-wise and how much we're happier now in our personal lives. Charlie is a talented actor working both on the stage and screen as well as behind the scenes. She's even directed music videos for Anohana opening band Galileo Galilei. Check out her stuff. Then I met up with my friends Steph and Daigo at a cute dessert cafe. We talked a lot about the process of creating comics and our next projects. It's been a while since I've had a creative conversation, so seeing them was very pleasant. Steph and Daigo are established comic creators. Their webcomic Skatefire 100 was featured as a Webtoons original, and the duo are currently working on their own comics, Do You Remember and Lily Crown. Check out their stuff. Finally, I caught up with one of my oldest friends. We got burgers and shakes that were seriously good and went to get tea afterwards. It was nice talking about how far we've come since the 4th grade. Time really does fly by. As I left the East Coast, I wondered if I could live there again. There are many things I missed about the city, but so much has changed. However, I was also pleasantly surprised.
Yo, is that a Jollibee?
For now, I gotta get back and make another book. Thanks for watching.